From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Tractors, trailers, rentals.
You do it all, we do it local.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Happy Wednesday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal. You know, there are going to be some areas of dense fog, even for parts of the valley, in particular Glen and Butte counties. But many of the inland and mountain valleys could see some of that fog as well. There's also some shower activity off to the north and west, but I do expect the main wet weather pattern to really hold off until this weekend, and it's going to stick around for a while. The first day of winter, by the way, is this Saturday, known as the winter solstice. And, you know, the snow levels with these systems coming in this weekend and into early next week, they're actually going to start off fairly high and will mainly be above 5,000 feet with a slight drop as we do go into, say, Christmas Eve, for example. We'll get into that in our deeper dive forecast in a bit. Let's get you through Krueger's Quickcast here for your Wednesday, December 18th. So heading out the door this morning, again, we're going to be looking at some patchy fog for parts of the valley, some of those inland valleys as well, and mountain valleys. But the coast, in particular, has the best chance for showers. Parts of Siskiyou County may see a shower early this morning as well, and it's all thanks to this right here. This cold front is actually able to break through the ridge of high pressure, but that ridge is also breaking away at that storm system. So the two are kind of battling it out, and for the most part, we are seeing some light showers mainly for the north coast this morning. Once that shifts off to the east, the clouds will start to clear out, and of course, it will dry out entirely before the noon hour for the areas that are seeing those showers. In the meantime, we're tracking some more storms off to the west. That will eventually have an impact on our weather as we do go into the weekend and early next week. So there you can see some of the light showers that we are seeing. But yeah, again, before we even get to the noon hour, that rain is gone. Now, we're still seeing a lot of that cloud cover out there and still maybe some drizzle, but it does look like even those clouds will start to dissipate. Meanwhile, plenty of sunshine everywhere else. That fog along the coast, as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning, it looks like that fog is going to try to kind of back off a little bit here for Thursday morning. But overall, I do expect once these showers push through this morning for the north coast, they'll quickly clear out here. They'll quickly dry out here through the morning hours. Temperatures for today in the low to mid 60s. Now, if we see that fog in Glen and Butte counties, and we're seeing more of that inundation around Oroville southward, it depends. These temperatures will really depend on, number one, if that fog should develop, how dense that fog gets, and how quickly the fog burns off. There are indications that if the fog develops in Chico, it may take a while for it to burn off, much like we did see to our neighbors to the south in Sacramento area. But the thing is, these temperatures may be warmer if we see a bit more sunshine. And where we're forecasting less in the way of that fog is to the north, which is why it's warmer for the valley. So it's kind of a side note there. Temperatures in the mid 40s on average for most of the higher elevations, and I'm expecting upper 50s to low 60s taking along the coast, that is. Here's your 7-day outlook for the valley, dry through Friday. I am expecting those showers to return by the weekend. So you'll see that dip in the temperatures as well as that cooler and more unstable air moves in. Now again, for the coast, maybe some morning showers, not to mention for the inland areas, but really for the most part, Trinity County will probably stay dry. Dry through Friday, and then of course the showers coming in over the weekend. Taking a look at Mount Shasta, some of those showers, by the way, may make their way into parts of Siskiyou County, but even then it's not going to be very significant. Dry through Friday, and then of course that wet weather coming in for Saturday, Sunday. All right, that is your quick cast. Thank you so much for joining us. If that's all you needed, stick around because we've got a lot more to talk about as we do go into next week. Some of you probably have a lot of plans as we go into Christmas week. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you that I do have a 24-hour streaming channel. You can watch on your smart TV. Most TVs these days, you connect them to the internet, they've got apps, you can watch a YouTube channel, right? And from the YouTube channel, Weather NorCal, just search for Weather NorCal in that YouTube channel, and you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. you can also watch my latest forecast on that as well. The 24-hour channel is also available on Fire TV and Roku. Just search for Weather NorCal and you are good to go. All right, so again, there's that system that's clipping Northern California, giving us some of the showers, and then of course it dries out. This system's going to pretty much stall out. You see this one right here as it still butts up against the ridge of high pressure. Because again, it's not until this weekend that we see that main wet weather kind of kicking in. But I do want to show you, see the yellows and oranges? These are all of these just pushes of moisture heading right into Northern California, starting this weekend and through a good majority of next week. Now, Wednesday of next week, look at what's setting up here. This is going a long ways out, by the way. This is over a week. In fact, this is about a week from today. But look at this atmospheric river. This is a strong one right here. I mean, you're getting into some really good amounts of moisture in this narrow column of moisture, right? That's the definition of an atmospheric river. And you can see it is heading right for Northern California. So things could get interesting. By the middle and latter part of next week, we'll see if that materializes, but for now, that's what it's looking like. In fact, we take a look at the atmospheric river forecast, and you know, AR5, that's the category 5 where it has the biggest impact. We're nowhere near that, but you can kind of see these spikes as we do go into the weekend and early next week, indicating that at least the moisture associated with the rain that we get will most likely be associated with an atmospheric river. But they won't be these prolonged events with just one event over us. So again, some of the showers this morning, you can see by 10 o'clock this morning, it is gone, but some of it will maybe clip parts of Siskiyou County. Still some clouds lingering through a good portion of the day to the north and west, but there you can see not as much down in the valley eastward. That fog along the coast, there you can see it kind of backs off, and you can see that milky color. That's just indicating some of the high and mid-level clouds that we'll see through the day on Thursday, but it will be dry. Now, meanwhile, we do have some rain here off to our west. Now, as we go into Friday, here's Friday morning. There you can see that main band. There's the cold front. Okay, now that's going to stall out there because the ridge of high pressure, it's trying to hold on. But eventually, this will be able to kind of push on through. Now, it is showing some showers here for Friday afternoon. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's very weak, the boundary that's pushing through. Again, it's not until Saturday that we'll see the bulk of that rain begin to move on in. So again, here's the overall setup. We do have that ridge of high pressure, right? Here's the kink that was kind of moving through this morning. Now, this storm system right here, it pretty much breaks apart because it's butting up against that ridge of high pressure. Really, any storms up until now through Friday are going to break apart because the high pressure is preventing it from moving on in. However, these storm systems, because we're looking at Friday now, these storm systems are expected to eventually push through. There you can see that first band coming in Saturday, another one coming in on Sunday, probably late in the day on Sunday. Maybe the first half of the day on Sunday will be dry, and then Sunday afternoon, some more wet weather. But look at the flow, right? We're getting this flow now. The ridge is gone. So this flow is the jet stream. This is pretty much the path that the storms tend to follow. So this right here, that's going to be heading up the pike there, and by Monday into Tuesday, we've got more rain in the forecast. Now, what you'll notice is on Tuesday, instead of that just flat jet stream over us, we have this dip right here. This is what's known as a trough of low pressure. Now, typically with the trough of low pressure, this also allows the cooler air to cool down. So we were seeing that most of that moisture was coming from the southwest Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That is going to keep those snow levels fairly high, 5,000, 6,000 feet. Shouldn't have a huge impact on your mountain travel, just some of the higher mountain passes, say above 5,000, 6,000 feet. But here you can see, as we go into Tuesday, colder air, which would mean lower snow levels. That could start to impact your Christmas Eve, because this is Christmas Eve that we're looking at. It could impact some of your Christmas Eve mountain travel. Christmas Day looks dry. We have a little bit of a ridge right here, but then the day after Christmas, looks like we've got another trough right here. This one doesn't look to be quite as strong, but you see all the blue on the map there, that's indicating some of the snow. So if you have travel plans on either side of Christmas, unfortunately, you may run into some travel delays on those mountain highways. Only time will tell. We're still over a week away before any of this will happen. So this is going to change the overall intensity, the snow levels, all of that. So this is one of those stay tuned type of forecasts as we do go through next week. Taking a look at your precipitation outlook, again, we're seeing these darker and darker greens on the map. What does that mean? That means the darker that shade of green, the better the chances of seeing above normal rainfall in the next 10 days or so. So that's what we're looking at here. Looks very promising for that to happen. Hey, if you're heading out to the ski park, looks like things are going to be A-OK out there. 60 inches out at the summit, about 95%. 44 of those runs are open. There you can see some of the others. Heavenly, Mammoth, Kirkwood, North Star, Sierra Tahoe, just to name a few. Of course, there's too many for me to list here, but things are looking pretty good up on those mountains. Take a look at the temperature outlook, by the way, and again, this helps to support what I was talking about with those higher snow levels. To start off, but then eventually maybe dropping by next Tuesday and of course the day after Christmas as well. Want to real briefly just touch on the winds because we're still seeing some breezy conditions here for the coast here today. They will die down this afternoon and I don't expect them to be a problem on Thursday either. So much calmer winds for the coast and of course for everyone else on Thursday. But Friday, as that cold front begins to approach, we're going to start to see those winds begin to pick back up again. So with the system coming in Friday into Saturday, especially Friday night into Saturday, I think we'll be looking at some stronger winds again, especially along the coast and some of those higher elevations. Taking a look at your wave heights for today, there you have it. You can see as we go into your Thursday, they kind of retreat a little bit, so things should start to improve. However, with those higher waves, we do expect there to be a small craft advisory here through this afternoon. South winds at about 5 to 10 knots. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Your temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 50s, even around 60 out towards Ruth, 58 degrees out in Burnt Ranch. We take you out to the north coast. Yeah, a morning sprinkle or light shower, but otherwise you are dry for the rest of the day today, Thursday, and most likely Friday as well. I will say this, some of the long-range forecast models are indicating that by the time we do get into Friday afternoon, and we saw that indication on Futurecast that as early as Friday, maybe parts of the north coast could see some showers by late in the day. But again, the main event is not going to be here until Saturday for everyone. And those snow levels will be high. You see actually starting off around 4,500 feet, but then climbing back up to about 5,000 to 6,000 feet for Sunday and Monday. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, 48 degrees for El Turris, as well as Tule Lake, 45 in Canby, and 45 degrees in Fort Bidwell. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 40s to around 50 degrees in Chester, 59 degrees in Paradise, and 51 degrees in Portola. Your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Your temperatures upper 50s to low 60s. Now again, these temperatures will depend on number one, if the fog should develop this morning, how dense that fog will be, and if that fog is dense, how long will it take for it to burn off? The longer it takes to burn off, the cooler the temperature will be. The quicker it burns off, the warmer it will be. And if you don't see any fog at all, then of course the warmer it will be as well. So again, we're not expecting that fog to develop really, at least very dense fog for the north end of the valley. That's why I've got those temperatures in the mid 60s. But there are places to the south that could also see some mid 60s in the forecast as well. But otherwise we are dry through Friday. First day of winter, the winter solstice, that will be on Saturday, and it's going to feel like winter. It's cooling off. We're seeing more wet weather. And more wet weather here as we take you through early next week. And even Christmas Eve, it looks like it'll be on the wet side. Well, that is your morning forecast. I'll be back again, that is, this afternoon. Have a great morning.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.